Okay, now what is the metaverse exactly? Do me a favor, do yourself a favor, do your family and friends a favor. Check out this clip. It's about 10 minutes. If you want to see the full clip, it's brilliant, it's beautiful, and it's very truthful, and it's alarming. Just check him out on YouTube. His name is Truth Edited, and you can get the full video. But I want to use about 10 minutes of this clip because he does a brilliant job on, you know, giving the information of what exactly is the metaverse. But with this video that I'm putting together, I want to focus more on the movie Free Guy to go in depth to the jewels that they dropped in that movie about us and some of the secrets and some of the things. But Free Guy is about the metaverse. It gives a nice visual of an artificial intelligence living in the metaverse and having an experiencing an awakening, like, hold on, this is not real, and it's very symbolic to us, Yasharahla, us awakening in this new metaverse that they want to present to us, the New World Order that they want to present for the poor. The New World Order is for the poor. This 10-minute video clip is going to break it down like beautifully, so you can just see how the rich want to stay rich and keep the poor poor. The poor worry about vanity, worry about things of no value, and it's gonna really showcase that within this video clip. How the poor, how they plan to keep the poor poor, and the rich have valuable assets, but we still, taking honor into things that has no value at all. But let me shut up. Take a look at this clip, and we're gonna go a little bit into the movie, show some more clips of that, and bring out some other things that that Free Guy movie is really showing to us that we need to pay attention to. So until next time, till you hear my voice again, shalom.
All right, perfect.
Okay, so again, what is the metaverse? Very simply, it's a new digital universe, a digital world. It's the next era of the internet, which is projected to deliver a digital environment that is similar to real life. It's a whole new world that people around the world will be plugged into. The metaverse will exist in parallel to reality, allowing people to work, open businesses, socialize, communicate, and interact with one another in a fully immersive system of virtual destinations. Right now, all of us look at the internet through our phones, computers, and other devices. What the metaverse will do is move us into the internet. It is actually likened to living in the internet. Have you ever seen the movie Tron? That's what it's about. What you may want to say is, yeah, this is just virtual reality. There's no way people can live in the internet like in the movie Tron. But you need to gain understanding. It's very deep. It's much deeper than just virtual reality. You see, virtual reality headsets and hardware like that are just tools that assist people in plugging in. But when you add in the other pieces into place, like blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, artificial intelligence, 5G internet, remote work, gaming, and online social activities, all these pieces will meet at one singular point to create a virtual universe in the form of what we will call the metaverse. People will live in an artificial, augmented reality.
Artists going around Soho hiding AR pieces for people to find.
3D street art? That's cool.
Send that link over so we can all look at it. This is stunning.
Dude, that is something.
That's awesome.
Wow. I love the movement.
Wait, it's disappearing.
This is amazing.
Hold on, I'll tip the artist and they'll extend it.
Wow.
brilliant.
If you guys like it here, I have another room that you're gonna love. Check out this forest room.
Huh, let's see it.
Koi fish that fly? That's new.
This is wild. Hey, one sec, Boz. It's Priscilla.
Hey, you have to see this. Beast is going crazy.
Oh, I love that guy. We've got to show that to the kids. Can you also send that to my dad?
I'll message him.
All right, see you at home. This place is great, Boz, but there's something I got to get back to. All right.
People will live inside the internet.
That's it, Mark. I'm moving to the metaverse.
All right.
They will be merging the physical world with the digital.
And you'll be able to take your items and project them into the physical world as holograms in augmented reality too. First, we're building tools that creators can use to place digital objects into the physical world and let people interact with them.
The grand vision of the metaverse is to provide a parallel digital universe connected to our physical world through multiple digital technologies. This parallel virtual environment and the bringing together of the online and offline worlds will allow the user to experience and communicate in the digital world through avatars, which will be the user's chosen persona. And it will feature many elements from physical reality, including buildings, work, and leisure locations, and other different landscapes. One big thing that is happening right now currently is that people are buying digital plots of land in the metaverse. They are buying digital real estate right now. I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
There is a building boom breaking out, but it's not happening in your backyard. It is happening in a fake world called the metaverse. The virtual real estate market is on fire right now, and our next guest says there is real money to be made in this fake land grab.
What's unique about the metaverse today is that virtual worlds are being designed specifically for adults, where they can live inside these virtual worlds and carry out their life.
Websites like Rentable are literally a leasing agency for virtual real estate. Like, all you really have to do is just browse and choose the property that's within your monthly budget. Make sure the length of the lease is what you need and the location is good. And also there's a security deposit, just like in the real world, where if you're late on paying the rent for the following month, then you lose that deposit. And then soon as you pay for your first month's rent, the land is yours to do whatever you want with, right?
The ultimate goal of the metaverse is to look and feel like physical reality, allowing your avatar to move around freely, interact with others, and access information just like in the real world. The metaverse aims to connect with reality by designing a large-scale virtual reality setting where anyone can have a persistent presence as an extension of their physical self or company. The metaverse could also be a merger of all realities, filled with artificial intelligent entities, making it possible for people and other beings to communicate and interact in shared environments. An example of this is like what they showed in that movie, Free Guy. There are so many different purposes that the metaverse will take care of. Let me sum this all up for you. The elite of this world, who control a majority of the world's wealth. You see, in 2019, the Oxfam report showed that the world's richest people own 50% of the world's wealth. In their report done in 2020, they showed that the world's richest 1% have more than twice as much wealth as 6.9 billion people. And the wealth gap has grown even more larger since the pandemic. These people have gained complete control over the world and its resources. They own the land, the real estate, the businesses, our social entertainment, pretty much our complete way of life. And being that they now have a complete handle on all these things, and also being that there is no way to bridge a union between the rich and the rich will stay rich and the poor will stay poor, they have created an alternate universe that allows the poor to live in a digital reality where they can escape the true reality of this world.
A prison for your mind.
A place where they can use their digital money or cryptocurrency tokens to buy and sell in a digital universe. This will make the world a lot smaller and easier to control. While the rich will stay rich and own all the actual physical assets, the real stuff, the poor will try to build something for themselves online in a new digital world. They literally have created the Matrix. For me, I just couldn't understand how people could actually accept something like this. But apparently, the youth have been conditioned for this for a long time, which made me go back and think on a situation I had one summer a decade ago with my now adult son. One summer, he asked if he can play this game called Roblox on his computer. When he showed me, it looked harmless compared to the games he could have been asking me to play, so I let him play. And day by day, I saw that he would stay on the computer longer and longer. He wouldn't go outside to play basketball even. He would just play this game. And at some point, I got tired of it and took the game away from him and told him I wasn't going to let him live in a virtual world. Because to me, that's what it looked like he was doing. And we canceled it. That was 8 to 10 years ago, I believe. But I remember it clear as day. And what I was protecting him from then has evolved into something even more prevalent and dangerous today.
Gaming is how a lot of people are going to step into the metaverse for the first time.
So the first thing I want to do is give a warning to all parents of children. These virtual reality games are not harmless. And though by taking a stand against them, you may be removing their world from them, you will be doing them ultimate good. These games have them living in a virtual alternate reality that is growing by the day, and intends for their minds to be attached to a world not created by our Father in heaven, our true creator. All the games from Roblox to Fortnite to Grand Theft Auto, which your children shouldn't be playing anyway, Rec Room, and anything like that, are introducing and conditioning your child to live in an alternate reality. The metaverse aims to be a central hub for all of these games and more, and will allow them to teleport and go between games. They have been conditioned to care deeply about their avatars because this is what represents them online. They buy them clothing and make sure they look good. This is absolutely crazy, but absolutely true. This young generation actually cares more about how their avatars look online more than how they care about how they look physically in the real world. They have been conditioned to care more about the metaverse than our true physical world. Last year, a rapper named Travis Scott did a virtual concert on Fortnite where 27 million users attended. 27 million. For context, last year's NBA playoffs averaged 4.2 million viewers, and Game 6 of the finals brought in 12.5 million viewers. This concert doubled that. So you can see this is real influence, and it comes from all around the world. They attended a concert while in their homes, and possibly many of your living rooms or in their bedrooms in your homes. This is the metaverse, and they are already in it. They are even buying Gucci bags for their avatars. Gucci bags for online characters.
All right, now you got to put it on and we got to see how it looks.
Okay.
You got a real life Gucci bag in Roblox. You gotta walk the runway. Yeah. Okay, I see you with a Gucci bag.
This is 1000% real. And many of the games are introducing it to them. Even a game like NBA 2K, which you would think is harmless because it's all about basketball, it allows a player of the game to create their own character. These children, and also a lot of adult men, they work hard to develop their avatars who have very realistic features. They then take these characters and let them move about in the cities talking to other players, go into courts playing pickup games. They have been trained to create online personas that they care for very much, and they collect virtual currency, which they call VC, which is exactly like digital cryptocurrency, except that it is game specific. And they care deeply about those coins and currency.
What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be surprising my girlfriend with the $70,000 Robux Gucci bag.
So if you think that this is far-fetched and couldn't be accepted, this has aged you too, because it already has been accepted. And the better they get with the technology, the more it will be accepted.
My name is Guy, and I live in paradise. Good morning, Goldie. I've lived here in Free City my whole life. I've got a best friend.
Now, in the movie Free Guy, the lead role, his name is Guy, the artificial intelligence person. And it's a reason why they named him Guy, being very slick. But if you do research and really just pay attention to how cunning, these Edomites are, those who have dominion, then we can definitely see what they're trying to place right in front of us. Now, Guy, in its origin and meaning, is a French origin, and it means guide or leader. And you will see how this person, Guy, is being portrayed in this movie. How he is set up as the leader, and that is the seed of Dawadah, or the seed of David, or the seed of Dawi. You know what I'm saying? So just wanted to bring that out and talk about that more so you can, you know, consider that whenever you watch the movie or see any clips to why did they choose the name Guy, you know. So take a look at that. As you can see, I want to touch on all the little things that I feel I picked up on, in that very first scene, Guy talks about, the things that he has in this artificial world, this paradise that he's waking up in. He has a buddy, his best friends, which is Yasharahla, or Hebrew Yasharahla, or Hebrew Israelite, who was very symbolic, because Guy is representing the seed of Dawi, and and his best friend, which is Buddy, represents the house of Yasharahla, or Zion, or the seed of Jerusalem, who's in captivity, And I want to bring this out. The seed of Jerusalem is the bloodline of David, sons and daughters, the bloodline of Zadok, sons and daughters, and the bloodline of Levi, sons and daughters, and the bloodline of Yehoiada, or Judah, sons and daughters, and the bloodline of Benjamin, sons and daughters. They represent Jerusalem as a people. Why? Because when we get our inheritance and our lots, these bloodlines or tribes, they reside in Zion or Jerusalem. So that's why they are represented as the bloodline. But right here, as you can see, Guy talks about having a buddy, and he has a goldfish. Why did they use a goldfish in this movie? See, these are things I want to bring out and talk about. They use a goldfish because this is how these Jews work. They always inserting their little beliefs and their little folklores. But it's okay, we're going to deal with that too. But that goldfish that's very dear to Guy is representing the Hayah, the high one that is always watching over the seed of Dawadah, or Dawi, or David, in captivity, always keeping his eyes on him, protecting him from the evils, protecting him from the world that he's living in. And that's what that represents in the movie. That's why it was so key that he spoke that, So I just wanted to bring that out.
What have you got?
Proof of a secret level. That's what you're looking for, right?
You got a video or a screen grab?
Nope, but I know who does.
Now, in this video game, because that's what Free Guy is based on, the video game, the Metaverse, right? In this video game, one of the characters by the name of Millie, she is finding out information that, the owner of this game stole their code or their patent and created a game, but hid their game within his game, but it's very metaphorical, and it's so key. That's why you got to watch the movie. If you haven't seen it, you have to watch it. But what's being hidden is their game, which looks like this, and it represents the promised land. So the owner of the game, or those who have dominion of the world, is trying to keep away the information of where the promised land is, and keep the world from knowing that Yasharahla shall return there once again, like scripture says. So it's very key, if we just pay attention to key things in this movie, because it's showing it So in this scene right here, this is the coding that this Millie character, who also helped create the game with her friend Keys. It's ironic his name is Keys, Keys and Millie. You know, um, we know what the keys are, right? Ahaya is the key. Returning to Ahaya is the key for us returning back home. So I can understand why one of the characters in the movie who created the game name is Keys. And Millie is very significant as well. But off the top of my head, I can't remember what her name means. I'm disappointed in myself about that right now. But that is what's on this, this key code that has been found is, this right here. They trying to find their game within this code, but this is what it looks like.
Idea where these fools are running to?
I do. Southern Shore. Hitman's Beach.
That's stupid. There's nothing out there but water. Game physics won't even let you get past the shoreline. Unless there is something out there. Antoine, is there something there?
Now, on this scene right here, Antoine, ironic his name is Antoine, right? And if you look up the Hebrew meaning to Antoine, or just type in, Antoine name meaning, it means praiseworthy or highly praised. And that is what the Amalekite Edomite has been doing unto himself. He esteemed himself high and above, trying to be high and more mighty than the Creator. But in this scene right here, one of his co-workers for his company is curious now because Antoine is acting kind of different. Because Antoine is knowing where they are trying to go, where Guy is trying to go, and where Keys and Millie is trying to go. They're trying to get across this shore because going across that shore is the homeland. You get it? Because we are in modern day Egypt, mixed in with the old ancient ways of old Egypt and the ancient ways of old Babylon. That's where we are right now, the daughter of Babylon, right? Because it is the daughter to the mother of the great Babylon that we were once in, that was ruled by Nebuchadnezzar, right? So this captivity that we're in right now, is modern day Egypt. So when you go right here to this Micah chapter 7 and you go to verse 15, this is pretty much what's going on right here and what will take place with us in real life. Like Ahaya says right here, I did many miracles when I took you out of Egypt. That's old Egypt, right? But then he said, I will let you see more miracles like that. So the coming out of this captivity, out of this modern day Egypt, will be similar to coming out of old Egypt. Like Ahaya dropped so many plagues, dropped so many plagues upon the earth or upon Pharaoh and the Egyptians. Same thing that we're seeing today. He's plagued the whole earth now, though, not just Egypt. He's plagued because we are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Zion is scattered. So wherever we are, plagues is being dropped. So right now we have this, we in a vaccinated nation. The COVID era. That COVID stands for something. So we're in that COVID era. And this is a major plague that Ahia has dropped upon the earth. And that those who have dominion is using to bring forth their new world order, this metaverse. So we seeing the higher dropping drama up on the earth. So this is why they trying to, speed it up. This process of putting together this metaverse, this new world order, because they see what time frame we in. We are in the time frame of going home. So they are showing this in this movie. They are showing how what's getting ready to build up and stack up is similar to us crossing the Red Sea. That's why we got to cross this shore right here. In the next clip, you're going to see more and more what I'm talking about. So just stay tuned in.
Okay, Keys. Let's have a real talk. If I'd put out your dumb game, it would have bombed.
Antoine, you don't know it would have failed.
Yeah, I do know. I looked at the numbers, the tracking, the focus groups.
Has it ever occurred to you that some things matter more than numbers?
What matters more than numbers? Money? Yo, newsflash, bro. Money is still numbers. Nothing matters more than numbers. You should be thanking me.
I should be thanking you. What about the profits that you got from our work?
You chose your side, little Padawan. And now it's time for you to take your place next to the Emperor. You get me, bro?
Yeah, I get you, bro. Which leads me to...
Now, pretty much this scene right here is a nice example of how the Amalekite Edomite is exalting himself. You know, I don't want to say before the high one or a higher, because this person is not a higher, but he is very symbolic, you know, to the things that a higher like will do or is in process of doing right now, or will do in the future, you know, near future, because we're not that far away. I don't want to give away the clip, you know, I want you to check it out. But in this scene right here, it just shows how, you know, because Antoine is playing the role of Edom. And Edom comes in many colors, and, you know, the Amalekite Edomite or Esau has dominion. And he rules by his sword. You know, he rules by his sword. And he rules by darkness, evilness, trickery, being cunning, you know, as his forefather, the original Esau was, right? But, you know, Esau exalting himself to almost sit, you know, by the emperor, as if his game or his world is not coming to an end. But like Ahaya says right here, thou shalt exalt thyself as the eagle, and though you set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Ahaya. So that's what this represents.
Thanks, Keys.
What the hell was that?
Okay, so now in this scene, we see what's getting ready to take place. We see a bridge is now formed. For what? For a guy to cross over. And also Buddy. You know, something's going to take place with his friend Buddy. Don't forget, Buddy is very symbolic, representing the house of Yasharahla. You know, and Guy represents the seed of Dawi, or Dawadah, or David, whatever you prefer. But we see right here what takes place as, you know, Esau or the Amalekite Edomite exalting himself before Keys. Remember, Keys is representing the key to our salvation, which is Ahaya. So this is why Keys is pressing the buttons and doing certain things, and also have Millie working with him, you know, because Millie's name represents something. It's a meaning. It has a strong meaning to the purpose of this movie, and, you know, of the true meaning of what's going on in this movie, particularly, you know. But as you see this crossway, this path, or this bridge being formed so Guy can pass over, it's just like right here. Because remember, that little shore is represented as the Red Sea or the Red Sea. Because this is modern day Egypt, a form of modern day Egypt. And we must cross back over to go back home. But they're giving a prime example right here. So, you know, you just read this little paragraph right here. When Yasharahla reached the red or Red Sea, Masha stretched out his hand, and the waters divided, allowing his followers safe passage. And you see right here that when this drops down, it's giving him a safe pass to go through to reach the promised land. That Anton or the Malachite Edomite is trying to hide from us. But then it continues to read, the Egyptians followed them, but Ahiah again commanded Masha to stretch out his hand, and the sea engulfed the army. The story is recounted in the Old Covenant, Exodus 14:19 through 31. So just check out this clip, and now we're going to just keep on breaking this thing down. It's beautiful.
Let's go. Where are we going?
Can't let them get across that bridge.
You want to finish this out with me?
Look, I don't even know what's going on, but hell yes, I'm with you. Let's go!
Okay, now y'all see Anton is getting edgy now. He's like, let's go. We got to stop them now, because this is the time that we're in right now. During the time of them setting up the metaverse, this is the kingdom that Ahiah is talking about, that he will destroy and build his kingdom that shall stand forever. It's this metaverse, this new world order, because this metaverse is for the poor. Who's the poor? Us, Yasharahla. Want to keep us stuck to these video games and stuck to our phones and iPads. Trust me, I know I'm a victim to it. I'm a victim. I know, but the way it's being shown in this movie, he's like, okay, you got to take me to where these servers are. So now it's time for me to destroy my own world, my own game. Because this movie's about a video game, the metaverse. But it's time for me to destroy my own world, because I can't let the seed of David go. Because the seed of David leaves, trying to sit back and rule from Jerusalem. And then he has his buddy with him, and it's time for Yasharahla to return back. So he's trying to do anything possible to stop that, to prevent that from happening. But this is what's going on right here. We right here in the feet, in the feet of iron and clay. The iron is the Edomites who have dominion. They are the iron. The clay is Yasharahla, us, Because remember, Ahiah is the potter, and the potter builds and molds the clay. And the clay is the weaklings, and the remnant will form from, the remnant will form from this clay, who is the weaklings among the iron. But Ahiah is bringing an end to the kingdom of the Amalekite Edomites and those who he have alliances with. Those talks about that in Psalms chapter 83. He still has alliances with that. That's why them 5 colonies helped and came and gathered us and brought us over here to the 4 corners of the earth. His alliances. They have dominion. These so-called kings and queens of the earth, who are oblivious to what is really going on. They don't have an idea what Esau is doing.
Antoine, come on, man. What are we doing here?
We're the service to Free City One.
No. Antoine, what the hell are you doing?
If they get past that horizon to the build, I lose everything.
Wait, so you did steal their code?
Welcome to the conversation, Genie.
Okay, I kind of got cut off on that last video. That was my fault, my mistake. But I was saying that, those who Esau has alliances with, they are, they are oblivious to what is really going on. They don't truly understand. That's why Isaiah chapter 52, at the bottom end, is going to let them know that what they was never told, they're going to be told. And what they did not see, they're going to see it now. We think that everybody just know exactly that who we are, that we Yasharahla. Oh yeah, they the true chosen ones of Ahiah. People really don't know yet, because Ahiah has not came back to anoint himself. So that is what he's doing, because vengeance is of him. So all that's happening right now is vengeance of Ahiah. He's coming back to anoint himself as king of the world. And then he will anoint his prince, the seed of Davidah, and bring back Yasharahla. So that's what you see right here in this scene right here. It talks about, it's going into how Anton is talking about that if the seed of David or Guy was being portrayed that, and Yasharahla reached that horizon, that ending point, he loses everything. So this is why they want to keep us here in captivity. This is why they want to create this new world order. This is why they want to do that. This metaverse. This is exactly why they want to create it. Keep us poor. Create this metaverse, this new world order. Because if Yasharahla wakes up, just imagine if all the so-called African Americans here in America wake up and learn that they Yasharahla and want to return back to higher. This dominion crumbles, America crumbles, and not just America, all the ties that is to America, because the Amalekite Edomite has factions with other nations. So America goes down, everything else goes down, everything. So if the seed of David reaches that horizon with Yasharahla, that is the end of Esau or Anton in this movie's dominion, or the end of his game, because now they have found what they've been looking for throughout the whole movie. They have found this code or this build or this landmass, this particular type of life. In the movie, the name of this game is called Free City. So in Esau's world, Free City is being portrayed like Grand Theft Auto. So if you play Grand Theft Auto, it's a lot of killing, murdering, senseless killing, no responsibility, no accountability, doing what you want, robberies, having fun, sex, very sexual. Just do whatever you want to do. You know, the minds of the teens, the adults, and the children share the same common brain of stupidity, you know, idiocy, man. Just like, what is we doing out here? And this is the world that they want to keep us in. So if, like it's being portrayed in this movie, if Guy and Buddy reach the end of that horizon, he loses everything, because now we are returning back home. So Esau do not want to let Ahia's people go. This movie is very deep, and it's a lot of gems in there. Just got to pay attention to them. But we're going to roll to that next clip, man, because I love this movie because it's so...
Keep going! Go on without me! I've been scared my whole damn life. I'm not scared anymore. Sorry. I'm not. It's been the best day of my life. You get to that field. Show we matter. Security guard right there was a goddamn hero.
But it's just a sweet, sweet fantasy, baby. When I close my eyes, you come and take me. It's so deep in my daydreams, but it's just a sweet, sweet fantasy, baby. I want you so bad. But it's just a sweet, sweet fantasy, baby. When I close my eyes, you come into me. It's so deep in my daydreams, but it's just a sweet, sweet fantasy, baby. I want you so bad. I want you so bad.
Now, I'll put this Bible verse up right here for a particular reason. See, in this scene, you see Anton or the Amalekite Edomite destroying the servers or destroying his world. And we see Guy and Buddy running and running. And you hear the song playing. I want it so bad. You know, paradise. Like, it's building up like what we want. We want to return back home to our paradise. And like, we've been in this captivity for so long. And the song is building up and then it's showing us running and running and running. But then it comes to a point to where, you know, a crack appears, and Buddy, representing, you know, Yasharahla, can't continue to run with the seed of David. You know, as the seed of David is to continue going, continue seeking, continue fulfilling the mission to make it across. But it has a deeper meaning with it because Buddy or Yasharahla starts speaking on how he's not afraid anymore. See, that's very important because there's a clip in the movie where Guy has these glasses and he wants Buddy to put them on so he can see the real world. That the world that he's living in this video game is actually fake. And if you put these glasses on, he'll see that. But then Buddy was like, you know, he don't want to put the glasses on. You know, he was afraid. But in this scene right here, we see how Buddy's like, I'm not afraid anymore. This is the greatest day of his life. That's Yasharahla talking because Ahaya is now what? Putting his spirit into us. So we not afraid anymore. We awakening. Like we seeing what's going on. We at the tipping point, the iceberg of us returning back home. So Yasharahla has total faith in his friend or the seed of Dawi that he's going to still make it. You know, so the whole world, for me, when I'm looking at this part, I look at it as Ahaya using the seed of David right here to expose what Esau or Anton in this movie has been hiding. You know, so he keeps them going. So, like he says in scripture that the seed of David will strike the world with the rod of his lips. You know, just bringing out information or the truth. So that's representing that right there. So he's, you know, he got to continue on the mission and go make sure he make it across to the other end. So, but if you're paying attention to this clip, you see that the whole world is watching. See, this is Ahaya anointing himself before the whole world or delivering Yasharahla and the seed of Dawi. You know, just because Buddy represents Yasharahla in this movie and he doesn't continue running, but we're gonna deal with another clip where you're gonna see what happens with Buddy. But that's still Yasharahla going over, running, but you know, they gotta be dramatic a little bit with the movie. But you see the whole world is watching. And who else is watching? The remnant of the people within the video game. See, I got to talk about a few things that took place in this movie. See, a lot of the C or guy rounded up the people in the video game, the NPCs, the non-playing characters. He rounded them up, and he had to talk with them to let them know what's really going on. Like this is fake, you know what I'm saying? So they went on strike within the video. Just imagine all the characters on GTA just going on strike, and they not playing their roles while you playing the video game. So that's kind of what happened. That's not kind of. That's what happened within the movie. So they went on strike like, okay, we're not doing nothing. So, but the seed of David rounded them up and pretty much start speaking the truth to them. So they're watching now too. So they're not participating nothing in this game. Well, they can't because, Esau is destroying the servers or destroying his own world. So they can't even do anything anyway. So they running and running and running from it, from the disasters that's taking place, as you see within the clip. But they watching to see what's on the other end, and they watching the seed of David as well. They're watching, you know. And as they're watching, you see the whole world is watching this video game that's taking place. But if you really pay attention, you will see like the world is like, they oblivious to what's going on. They like, what, they astonished. Like, what the heck is going on? Like, what is over there? Why is this NPC artificial intelligence character like out of order doing his own little thing? Like, what's making them do that? Because the world is watching. And now they want to know, who is this person? Who is this people? Who is Buddy? What's on the other side? What's being kept from these people in this video game or in real life? What is being kept from the so-called black American? You know? Can't forget my Afro. My Afro Americans as well. My Afro Latins. I'm sorry, don't want to leave y'all out, but everybody's watching. Like, what's over there? So that's what you can take from this clip, right? Okay, I kind of want to expound more on this because I did forget to talk about it just a little bit. But that's what Buddy is representing right there, Yasharahla, or Jerusalem. Like in Micah, this is talking about the remnant. And that's what the people, the NPCs in the game is representing. The remnant. Those who's getting hurt in this virtual reality game. Just doing mindless things, mindless behavior. So, but if you read this in a different version, you might get a better understanding. This is the easy to read version. And I like it because it tells the truth that Ahia says to Jerusalem was hurt and crippled. She was thrown away. She was hurt and punished. But I will bring her back to me. And that's what's going on. He's talking about, that's why I say not all of Yasharahla was brought over here to the four corners of the earth. Only these certain bloodlines, the bloodline of David, sons and daughters, the bloodline of Levi, sons and daughters, the bloodline of Zadok, the high priest line, sons and daughters, the bloodline of Judah, or Yehoiada, sons and daughters, and the bloodline of Benjamin, sons and daughters. That makes up Jerusalem because these bloodlines have lots and inheritance in the land of Jerusalem. That's why they are called Jerusalem. And that is who's over here. And that's what's being represented in this movie and in this movie clip. The other NPCs is represented as Jerusalem. And they are the remnant. The hurt ones, the lame, the weak. The ones who's going to be strengthened and turned into a strong nation. The people of that city will be the only ones left alive. They were forced to leave, but I will make them into a strong nation. And Ahia will be there, should be capital king. And he will rule from Mount Zion forever. And that's what process we are in.
Hi, Randy. Milton.
I was wondering when I'd see you again.
Yeah, life has been pretty crazy lately.
You should see it in here. We're talking free bubblegum ice cream for life.
Wow.
Hey, guys.
Okay, now in this scene, we see that Anton, or the Amalekite Edomite's dominion, has been crushed and destroyed, and we see there's a new game, or it's a new world, or we have returned to the promised land. And this game is called Free Life. Why is it called Free Life? When we return back to our, to our land, to our place, our birth, are we going to be totally free? No, because we're going up under the new covenant, right? The new covenant, which is in Jeremiah chapter 31, verses 31 through 34. So are we going to be free? Why is it called Free Life? It's called Free Life because it means free from captivity. That's why. Free from that captivity. And you see in this video clip the covenant rainbow. It's beautiful. You see how green it is. Green postures. It's just beautifully green, man. And it just, gives you that sense. And then when you notice that they showed the people or the NPCs that made it over into, that hidden place that they didn't want to be discovered within that game or within the movie, you see that it's not a lot of people. It was few in numbers. Only a remnant returned. This is why I have this up right here. A remnant shall return. Captivity return, years of silence. That's why they show only a remnant handful of people return. Out of all the PCs, out of all the players on that game or that was in that movie, only a remnant returned. Saying that's going to happen. So this is why when a lot of my people in these congregations, organizations, camps, movements, especially the IUICs, SUPKs, IUIC is probably the biggest camp movement in the world. That's no way possible that all of y'all who represent that and go up under that idolatry over there is going to just be guaranteed a spot when you guys are the majority. Christianity and the New Testament believers and keepers and covenant keepers are the majority. A higher only. I'm saying a higher only. There's a lot of Yah only. It's a lot of Yahweh only, Yahweh only, Yahuwah only. But a higher only, it's only going to be a remnant. Not a lot. People's going to return unto the higher because they stuck in their own belief doctrine. But I can't say that just because you went to that doctrine, that belief, or that name that a higher won't deliver you and you be part of the remnant. Because it's all about a higher making himself known and a higher anointing himself before the world so the whole world can see. So that will open up the eyes to everyone because the higher said his name is going to be one. Because he has so many right now that they calling him. They all of idol deities, idol ideologies. It's not the name of a higher. But his name is not one. Yahweh, Yahweh, Yah, YHWH, all of that. Nah, it's a higher. But we see a remnant here. So it's very key to pay attention to who's being prideful, stubborn, and arrogant. That's not what a higher is looking for. Malachi chapter 3, verse 16 through 18. It talks about how the people will think upon a highest name and a book of remembrance. And I ain't talking about what they created a novel on. They written themselves a book called the Book of Remembrance. That's not what Ahia is talking about. The Book of Remembrance or the Book of Scrolls that he's talking about is the so-called Old Testament because it is the only book to bring you the remembrance of who you are, the name of your God, the name of your king, which is Ahia. Like, it gives you the past, present, and future. It lets you know what's going to take place. It's very prophetic. Let you know who our enemies are. It gives testimonies to our forefathers. It brings back the remembrance. And only the so-called Old Testament does that. So that's what that's meaning in that Malachi chapter 3, verses 16 through 18. The book of remembrance. Return back to the so-called Old Testament. And then it tells you to discern between who is serving the higher and who's not. It's discerning between the righteous and the wicked. So that's all we're supposed to be doing right now is discerning. Not like judging and belittling and going at one another. Just discerning like, oh, okay, yeah. Well, my discernment shows he ain't about a higher only. He about all this other doctrine and ideologies and other stuff in between all of that. That throw you way off course. You know, some people is Muslims and Yashra, like, you know, is Yasharahla lights. How? Some are Christians and the Hebrew Israelites. How? Some are Kemet and Yasharahla lights. How? Mixing different ideologies with a higher. That's oil and water, baby. That don't mix. It don't go. You know what I'm saying? Put that together, you know, and you know that pants start popping because they don't go together. But that's what that Malachi chapter 3 does. And that's what it instructs us to discern. But we don't have to go against one another. So this movie, it allowed me to discern. Just look at this right here. The IMVU offers. IMVU is a virtual reality game. Virtual currencies up in that game too. So I'm glad that popped up. The metaverse that they got us our minds trained and hooked to. But I'm gonna end this right here. We're gonna go into the last clip. We're gonna finish it.
I'm coming for you.
No, you're not. I'm coming
yes,
for
I
you.
am.
You come here. I'm coming to you.
I'm reeling you in. I'm reeling you in. Buddy, I missed you.
So where's the bank?
There is no bank.
So what do we do?
Whatever we want.
Now I love this last scene right here. I wanted to show more of it because there was so much in there, but I didn't want it to be so long, like you know the movie clip. And I just said, okay, I'm gonna talk about it. But one of the things that Buddy said, who represents Yasharahla, like earlier in the movie, he said, I never took off my belt. I never took off my belt. I never took my gun out the holster. You know what I'm saying? Because he worked at a bank. He's a security guard. But he never took his belt off. And that would just represent that he always had his foot to the ground, working by the sweat of his brow, like prophecy stated. You know what I'm saying? We turn from a higher, and higher has been working us. And Amalekite Edomite has been using us as his workforce. We build up these Americas. You know what I'm saying? America and no place else is nothing without us. So like in the movie, he's just like, you know, I never took off this belt thing. So in the end of this clip right here, you know, he talks about how, you know, because remember like in that little clip that, you know, they show Buddy didn't run over there with guy, you know, and he went up and, you know, to this pixie dust and kind of faded away. But it shows that he talks about what happened. Like he, you know, was brought to this land. You know, Ahaya brought, you know, Yasharahla or Buddy to this land because Guy thought he'd never see his best friend again. You know, but they spotted each other, you know, but he didn't think that Buddy made it over. So Buddy asks this guy, okay, now that we're here in this beautiful place, I love this place. Like, what do we do? Like, where's the bank? Like, where's my job? Like, you know, like, not that we're not going to have no jobs when we go back, but I'm talking about his captive job. Like, what is my job? What am I to do? You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Guy tells him, like you see right here, like man, there's no bank. Like like do what you want. In reality, no. When we go back home, we're not gonna do what we want. We're gonna listen to the instructions and the orders of a higher. But what's really being showcased here is that once he tell him to do what he want, he, dang, you know what, I feel like a higher's giving me some kind of like understanding right now. It's like not do what you want, but it's like now, like you made your choice, because we have to choose whether we want to serve a higher and stay here or die in captivity or be about whatever else other than being about a higher. But once he says, do what you want, he drops his belt. And that means he dropped the chains of slavery from his mental and his physical. That's what that represents. That's why they had that cling sound, that cling, cling. That is the chains of slavery being dropped now off of Yasharahla, because we are now home, residing among Ahaya and our people, ready to rebuild this beautiful nation and become beautiful in the eyes of Ahaya. Now, with the clip from the beautiful brother Truth edited on YouTube, I appreciate all the hard work he did in putting that together, because it gave me a sense of urgency and a sense of understanding what's taking place right now. And I wanted to do this myself. So I appreciate all of Yasharahla who took time to listen and look at this and check this out. And please go give a view to Truth Edited, because he's doing a wonderful job. Even though we don't even see eye to eye on things, because he's into the New Testament, but he's still my folk, he's still my people. So if you got the truth, I'm gonna listen to it. I don't care if it comes from an idol worshiper, an ant, a beetle, a bug, the TV talking, an avatar character come to life and let me know the truth. Whatever the truth is, I just want to know, and I'm listening. It's that simple for me, whatever the truth is. So it's not about that. The only thing that matters is the truth. And if you can grasp it, put it together, that's what you want to do. So hopefully this video had truth and humility and a higher being exalted only in this, because it's a beautiful thing was taking place. This movie, Free Guy, proved to me that it showed me, because I always wondered, what is the New World Order? Like, how this going to take place? What's going on? But it proved and showed me that this is the last phase of our captivity, y'all. This is the kingdom, or this is the phase, or the dominion that Ahaya is going to kill and destroy and set up his kingdom, because they trying to set up a newer order of virtual reality with virtual currency for the poor, which is us, and I'm pretty sure others as well, right? But mainly targeting us, because like the movie is showing, they don't want us to return back home to know the truth that's been hidden from us. But Esau, Amalek, 400 years has passed. Really, 2,000 years has passed. Because when you go into that Hosea, it's going to tell you that, for 2 days, but on the third, Ahia is going to bring us through. 2 days representing, 2,000 years. We've been cut off from Ahia for more than 2,000 years. And that third day is just representing, that time frame that we in right now. And that is clear. So we don't have to be confused like, well, the third day is another 1,000 years. No. We are in the third day. Ahaya is not going to allow this next dominion to take place because that will crush everything. This is the dominion that Ahaya is going to crush. And we living in it. And he's going to destroy it. Daniel chapter 2. So I want to give all praise and I want to exalt my Malak, my King, Ahaya, Ashah, Ahaya, the great I am, Ahaya. I want to exhort you and just tell you, I love you, Ahava, I love you. And I just continue to pray that you create in me a clean heart and a renewed, and what is it? Create in me a clean heart and renew what is a beautiful spirit? Look at me trying to get all, snazzy with it. But create in me a clean heart and renew a new spirit within me. I just want to be humble, loving, caring, and compassionate. I want to be perfect in seeking you, not perfect in, in this world, this false reality. I don't have to deliver a perfect message, just a correct message, a truthful one. It don't have to be presented in its perfection, but just in its truth. And I want to say I love you. I thank you for allowing me to think on the fly with this. Thank you for allowing me to be clear-minded. And I want to exalt you. And I love you, my King. And your people love you too. So all praise to Ahaya. Peace.